So to save time, I've already cut up one rutabaga with my new slicer. This is the thin slice. This is the little bit thicker slice. There's really not a whole lot of difference. But, and then I also did some into steak fry size. What I wanted to show you is whenever I went into Walmart the other day, I was like, oh yeah, they got a bunch of rutabaga. Well, rutabaga and jicama look pretty similar. But the thing about rutabaga, it has this end. And it's like just a little bit of it's like they cut off the upper root. And let me tell you, I think they dip these in wax, both of them, to make them last longer as a preserving thing, a preserving mechanism. Because you can see that it's wax and you can see it kind of flaking off. But anyway, so this is a rutabaga and this is a jicama. See, it's got a smaller end and a smaller end. So I am going to cut into both of these, and I'm going to use my other knife, and we're going to go into it because they're both very, very hard to cut into. Oop, let me pull this sticker off here. They're both very hard to cut into, no matter which knife you use. But the reason why I use this knife is in case I need to hit it with the mallet. This is not my really, really good knife, and I would be brokenhearted if I broke my good knife. I need like one of those things that I can't think of what they're called, but you use them like a little pry opener thingy. This is what I was about to say, or this is what I was saying I might have to use. Please don't do this with your good knife. There we go. That is the inside of a rutabaga. It's yellow. Now let's try this with this jicama. Again, don't do that with a good knife. I've broken a tip off one of my old knives before for doing that. I was doing that with the suet before, and that's how I broke my knife. But like I said, this is not an expensive one. There we go. That is the inside of a jicama. Let's hold them up for comparison. This one's white, jicama, and rutabaga. So now I'm going to cut these up and peel them off camera. This is a very weird angle, but I want you to be able to see. This is the jicama, and this is what I'm doing. I'm kind of just following it down and cutting off the outer layer. I think you can see that okay-ish. Let me see. Hang on. I can't zoom because then it'll mess it up. So once you get it in half, it's easier to cut. But man, getting this thing in half, this just ain't the easiest. But if you got an old knife and a mallet, you're set, man. It's an old knife and a mallet. There's one. And like I said, this is the jicama first. And I'm not using my good knife to peel it. Again, I just don't want to mess up my good knife. Because like I said, this is waxy. So I'll use my good knife once it is peeled to finish cutting it up. Now with jicama, all the things I read and stuff before, whenever I was doing it before, it is so dense that you can't just stick it right in the fryer, air fryer, deep fryer, whatnot. You had to boil it 20 minutes. Well, we're going to do it anyway, just to compare the two. Because I just, wanted us to have a good side-by-side comparison. So we can really see what the difference is in the amount of work that has to be done for each of them. Jicama is really good. I love it. Roasted. That is truly my favorite way of eating jicama. And raw, But I love it roasted in my oven. Just not mashed. It's just too something when it's mashed up. It's too much flavor or too much, I don't know, whatever it is. It's too much something. So, all right. Now, we're going to get the rutabaga peeled. I just wanted you to see how I was doing it. So this rutabaga had a little split through it. And so I've been kind of working my way to find exactly where it ends. So I'm going to cut there and maybe this in half. Yay, that was the end of it. So I'm going to toss, I'm going to make that into a steak fry on both ends. And then, since these are so awkward, I'll make them into French fries. And then I'll show you how the new Mandoline works. You can do thin slices, thick slices. It allows you to do spirals and ribbons and whatever kind of thing you want to do, which is cool and fine. That's not what I got it for. I would just want to be able to slice. So it comes with a glove, which is very interesting, but it comes with a glove, and then it has a little handle that you can push up and down. So this, it fits. So I'm going to stab it, and then I'm just going to go down, 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 down. Just make sure you keep your hand up above the, you know what, this thing's a little too wide, so I'll make a few this way. Just keep your fingers up high. This is going against manufacturer's warranty recommendations, but all right, now. Curious to know if it's going to be able to do the jicama or not. I mean, it's tolerating the rutabaga okay, but because my plan is I'm going to make more of the au gratin rutabaga. That was pretty stinking good. So this is the thicker cut, but it has a shredder and a, I don't know what exactly this one is, but a grater maybe. Well, no, that's a grater. Like I said, you can do ribbons and spirals and whatnot. More than what I want. I'm going to go this way a couple times. So that way it's now the same size as the actual slicer. I'm doing all the rutabaga first. Since they're so big. They're so big that it's getting tangled up in there. Then I can have these ends for a raw snack. Nope, too wide still. The proper thing to do would be this. That would be the right thing to do. And now it fits. And then cut this into more French fries. That's the proper thing to do. But we know me and my ability to do the proper thing. The other proper thing would be to make it shorter. And then it won't keep popping up through the little hole. Ah, Bella. Come on, one more time. Come across there. I guess not. All right. So these can be just the big chunks for whatever. And that's how I did the rutabaga. Now let's switch over to the jicama. This glove is probably not meant to be touching the food, so I better try to keep it away from the food. I think the jicama is not going to be as forgiving. Let me take this glove off here. I think it's going to be one of those where I have to cut it and then cut it again to make sure it fits. Which is fine because I do want to do some of these as potatoes as well. Or potatoes. Do them as fries. You know, without boiling them. I want to see how they do. Because, you know, I'm one of those people, if it says stand on your head and spin around 3 times, that's what I'm going to do if that's what the recipe says. Well, so that's what I did. But now, I want to see how it does without doing the boiling thing. So, alright, now, I have to go this way with it. I'm going to give it just a couple slices. Again, this is going against what the directions, so do not do what I do. Do as I say, not as I do. Fills up pretty quick. I'm gonna need a place for these. Is this the really thin one? Nope. Jicama is just coming out very thin. Alright, I'm going to call it quits on that one. you know, maybe by slicing it as thin as I'm doing, maybe it won't have to be done anything special. Hey, for the lasagna I'm going to do today, I know I've seen plenty of videos of people doing lasagna with the egg life wraps or the tortilla wraps. And I've even done it that way myself. So I know that's an excellent way of doing it. But I think we've all seen that and we all have had that. And so I wanted to see, trying to find a place for my glove. I wanted to try something different this time. So I think they look really good, you know, with the egg life wraps and the other stuff. But like I said, I just wanted to try it with the Rutabaga as the noodle instead of the egg life wrap or the tortilla shell wrap. Just, you know, like I said, just want to try something a little different. You know, some people do their noodles with, zucchini and squash and whatnot. So, you know, if somebody happened to, if my timer's going off, hang on. Alexa, stop the timer. So if somebody happens to be vegan, or you happen to be cooking for a vegan person, look at me, making a mess. If you happen to be cooking for a vegan person, you could use these. So that's all I got to say about that. All right. I don't want this one sliced. I'm going to cube this one up. Well, I'll make a few more of this size, and then I'll cube some up. So one of my favorite things that I've made so far was the au gratin potatoes. And I think the most important thing on that was this Crave all day seasoning. It's got nutritional yeast, garlic, and onion. So I'm going to sprinkle some of this. This is jicama. I'm going to do roasted jicama. And so I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to get a couple tablespoons of cream. Okay, actually, this is probably going to be about 3 servings. So I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of cream. And I'm not going to add any cheese. I'm just going to put 3 tablespoons of cream. But what I am going to add is a little bit of minced onion to it. Just a little, not getting carried away. The oven is set on 350. I'm going to put it in until these turn brown. So that's one thing we're doing is we're going to do roasted jicama with the Crave all day seasoning. All right, we are going to drop the jicama fries first. I'm not going to load it up in case it's just a fail. I want some thick ones that won't fall through and fall apart. So I'm going to raise up my daily. I've got it at 350 right now. So I'm going to drop them. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. Hey, it has been 2 minutes, almost, well, right at a little over 2 minutes. And this is how they look. They're looking pretty crispy. So I'm going to try it for that long. Dang, I forgot which ones I did. Dang it, now I got to go back and listen to my video and see which one I did. Hold on. It was jicama. So these are the jicamas. So we're going to scoot those back there. I'm going to get a little piece of tape. I'm going to put a J on it. J. I'm going to stick it right there. And then this next one is going to be an R. I've got the ground beef in the microwave. I'm trying to warm it up because I'll use that for I'll use the ground beef for the lasagna. It's about to blow up in there. All right, again, I'm just going to do a few. And we'll try these for 3 minutes and see how that works. All right, it's been 3 minutes. I tell you, I broke my heart a while ago. I dropped one of my Corningware dishes, and it's the old style Corningware dishes. So it's like the ones, like the antique ones. I love how those work. That's the kind right there that I dropped and broke. I'm so sad. So they're golden brown. I'm not sure how the inside is, so now we're going to test them before we drop anything else in. They've both been 3 minutes, but I want to let them cool a little bit to see what I think. So hang on. All right, here's the jicama. No, I definitely needs to go longer. That one's still warm. I at least know the jicama needs to go down longer. So I'm going to go on and drop them in longer. I think it needs to go quite a bit longer. So I'm going to drop them in 5 more minutes. So the jicama just came out and I'm leaving them where they are. I took a taste of the Rutabaga. It's definitely not all the way done inside. It's softer than the jicama. So it's like, it's almost like a baked potato texture. So not a fried potato texture. So I'm going to drop those down for 5 more minutes like I did the jicama and see what that does for the Rutabaga. Okay, hold on. Okay, I think these have cooled enough. We'll see. This is the jicama. They keep their crunch. I'm going to try with ketchup. Hang on. It's been 5 minutes for the Rutabaga. I'm just going to let them kind of drop and sit there and cool for a little while. Now, you know, the jicama still kind of has a sweet flavor. I think that's why I didn't like it mashed. Good ketchup. That texture's fine. I know that when you fry them and then heat them up later, or freeze them and heat them up later, they become soggy. So I know they will not keep the crispy texture. But as an experiment for when people come to town or a party or something, we know 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes in a deep fryer was good with the jicama. Like I said, it still has a little crunch in there, which is good. It doesn't become a soggy, mushy, which is why I always used to get the McDonald's fries. Because, well, used to. They were the crispy. No, they used to be. Then they changed it. So then I went to the burger. No, Hardee's, I think, had the crispier fries. But I like a crispier French fry. But anyway, so these have more of a dense texture. I'm going to let these cool and then we'll come back and try. All right, this is a Rutabaga one. Let's see what we think. That one tastes more like a French fry. That tastes more like a real French fry. You could probably go longer because it's still a little soggy on the outside, or maybe it just needs to dry more. I don't know. My air fry, or my fryer is at 350. It goes up to 375, so maybe it needs to be higher. I don't know. But to me, the Rutabaga tasted more like a regular French fry, and I didn't even salt these. Yeah. No contest. Rutabaga. I do have the rest of the jicama in here because I've got some that's in the oven roasting and the rest of the jicama's in here. Then we've got these to go, and we got our lasagna to go. So I'm gonna let these finish, and then I'll start up the lasagna, because that's probably gonna have to be its own video. Well, I've got 4 minutes. We can build a lasagna in 4 minutes. Okay, cut the video. Something I did this morning was I crock potted some ground beef, just some plain ground beef, so I could have a meat to go with the rutabaga and jicama I've got. 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And I've got, it's 93%. So I wrote on the thing here. I was able to get 115 grams of the fried jicama in there. So if you could see that. So I wrote on here 93%, 8 ounces, J, 115 grams. And then I'll open it up and see that it also will need some ketchup. But I'm not going to put ketchup in and freeze it and make it any more soggy than it is. So that's how one of them's going. That's actually all of the jicama that was fried up. So it definitely loses its denseness. I'm finishing up the rutabaga now. So this is the jicama with that crave seasoning and a little bit of dehydrated onion. Yeah, that's good. And it had a little heavy cream in it too. So I'm going to divide that up into portions. Okay, so with that, I don't know, roasted jicama, and I put 8, 93%, 200 J, 1 T heavy whipping cream. So no, it's 8 ounces and 93%, 200 grams of jicama, and 1 table of heavy whipping cream in all 3 of these containers. So whenever I go to log them, I'll know what to log. So I've let these go a long, long time. And while they look crispy, they're still not. I don't know like how long it takes to fry a steak potato, you know, a steak French fry size. I don't know how long it takes to get crispy. But these are not. They're still flexible. So I'm getting anxious. So I got another group that's down. And I'm just going to load these up and put them in one of my containers. And call it quits on these. And then, because I want to try. The others I'm going to keep going till they're crispy. But I want to. I'm not patient, am I? I'm going to do 200 grams of the rutabaga. And then I want to fry the thin ones. Okay, I'm going to do 160 grams of rutabaga in this one. And yeah, I want to get to the thin ones, so I'm kind of impatient. So we'll see what happens to the thin ones. But like I said, these are still all floppy, so I don't know. Maybe if I quit eating them, I'd have 200 grams. I cranked it up to 375 and kind of forgot to check on it, but we'll see. Anyway, let's try some of the really thin jicama. These are really paper thin slices. Let's see how these do. I turned it back down to 350. So, all right, I'm just going to kind of let that go. Let me check it in about 5 minutes. And I'll tell you how, I'll let you know if those stiffen up or not. Well, I haven't done a potato in years, so I don't know. Maybe you can't fry a potato to get it crispy. Well, that one's crispy, that right there. It don't taste burn. Maybe I got them cut too big. Let me try a little one. That one's better. I don't know. Y'all give me your best advice. I think maybe I cut them too big. I've got the little skinny ones in there. We'll see what we think of those. I'm going to put these away in a container. I've set it on a paper towel to see if maybe it's holding too much of the oil. So after you fry something, do you just lay it out on a grid or do you lay it on a paper towel Is that something I'm doing that's missing something? So give me your best advice. Flavor, it's awesome. And I'll do this definitely again. It's just it doesn't get, like a French fry. So like I said, I don't know. You tell me what step I'm missing here. And these are almost done. So this was the jicama. That's how it looks, thin. Hey, that's got crunch. Oh my gosh. I put a little salt on too. Hey. That got crispy. Hang on, let me check this. I had to wait for it to get all to get through the moist stage, which this one's kind of still partially in it. I don't know if you can hear that. Hang on. I'm going to finish chewing this one. So, I'll move over here where you can hear it. That one's got some crunch. That was jicama, and it's got crunch. All right then, that's what it took. Making it really thin. So maybe that's the issue. I'll check out with the rutabaga that's in there now. So I'm still trying to work out the real thin pieces. I'm still trying to work them out. Like the timing and all that good stuff. This is all rutabaga. So I am going to sprinkle a little salt on them. They look dark, but they don't taste burned. I kind of wonder I turned it up to 375, and I'm kind of wondering if that's, if that's the smoking point of the combination of the lard and the tallow. And anyway, but these taste good. So that's all rutabaga. And while that's all cooling down, I'm going to start the jicama just so I can finish it up and be done with it. And I'll let that fry up a little bit. And I'll come back whenever these have cooled down. Well, they might cool down enough already. Let me see. Try one. It's kind of like leather. If they're not all the way real crispy, they're kind of like leather. Okay, well, it is what it is. Taste is good, but the texture isn't what I thought it was going to be. So that's all right. I'll package it up and make it one of my sides for some day. So I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag and let them air out. Because maybe part of it's just that I'm not giving enough time for the oil to dry up. So I'm going to leave it in the Ziploc bag and wait a little while. I marked it so that way when I take it, I'll know what it is I'm grabbing. I'm going to leave it unopened not zipped up and see what happens. Okay, what a huge difference just letting them cool all the way down made. This is the 100 grams of rutabaga. Okay, maybe about 50 by now, but listen. Yeah, so that was my problem. I just needed to let them sit and dry out. They're still like, they have a little well cooked, they're dark, but it's all right. I got some rutabaga, or some jicama here. Now that I know that might have been my problem, I'm not going to cook them as long, and I'm going to let them sit out until all the excess oil evaporates. But this is my last one. So after these are done, I've got one more thing in the oven. We're on the home stretch now. This thing is plugged off. I've wiped it all down. This is the jicama. I don't know if you can hear that. It's crunchy. You know what? You know how instead of, oh my gosh, what's that stuff they buy? Only it's animal skin, like chicken skin, and I can't remember the brand. I bought it before, but you could use this to dip in if you go somewhere. You could just dip this in whatever dip you got. This one's jicama. It tastes good too. I like the rutabaga better, but I like the jicama too. So there we go. In the future, I got one more thing going, but in the future, I would not buy jicama and rutabaga at the same time. It's too much. It swarmed me. I was kind of overwhelmed, but we got it done. So this will cool down, and I have one thing left in the oven. With all that jicama with all the sliced rutabaga, I went ahead and made another type au gratin, except I did not add cheese. I just added that crave, that nutritional yeast, garlic, and onion. I just added this to it, and then a couple tablespoons of heavy cream. So actually I added 4 tablespoons. So I'll see how many servings it makes, which is another reason why I didn't want to add cheese. So I'll see how many servings it makes, and then I can, do my little sticky note on the top of it so I know what to plug in. But yeah, this was a successful but overwhelming day. I will do the lasagna again, and I will do it with boiled rutabaga, just a little bit, not too much, more like al dente. And yeah, that was a success. I'm gonna take that to work tomorrow. I'm gonna take that, and then these crispy fried chips, I'm gonna take those too, cause I'm gonna be giving everybody a bite of the lasagna, and so I won't have the full amount of the lasagna that I plugged in. So yeah. So anyway, I'll show you the rutabaga style au gratin when I'm done with, or whenever the oven timer goes off. So that's the au gratin. I used the lasagna bowl. That's why it looks so crusty and gross. But whatever. So I used the lasagna bowl. And I made this the exact same way as I made the jicama, the roasted jicama. It has that crave nutritional yeast seasoning and some minced onions. I'm going to divide this up into servings, and then I will show you the fruit of all our labor this weekend. All right, let's take a look here. This is one of my containers of broth. We have 4 more just like this in the deep freeze. We have, these are 2 rows deep, so 10, 20, and this is meat and vegetable, things. So and then I've got, I didn't make these tonight, but that's just some ground beef up there that it had to stick somewhere. On top of that, I have 3 beef broths right here. Excuse me a minute here. So down here, these are all rutabagas and turnips that are left from last week. No, I lied. Back there is. This is 2 of my lasagnas. That's 2 turnips and 3 rutabagas. So these are just side dishes. So those are rutabaga and turnips. So I'll pull those out whenever I pull out a plain meat that's up there. Let's see if I can get this to fit in there. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is 2 of my lasagnas and 2 more, so I have 4. 1, 2. Oh, shoot, fire, Terry. I have 1 more rutabaga, plain rutabaga. And then these are 3 of my lasagnas because I think it's been out of the way. Hello. So I have 4 rutabagas, just rutabagas, and 2 turnips. Then 3 of my lasagnas. And these are 3 more of the meat and vegetables that I made. Now over here, let me close it. Oh, and my egg muffins. I crammed them right down there. There's my egg muffins. And then the tallow that I made I have one up here, and I think I have 3 more in my freezer, because I'm waiting to see if my stuff comes, to see how, about making lotion and stuff with tallow. I've got 2 of my muffins were from today, and I think 2 were left over. Here's the 2 bags. This is Rutabaga, the deep fried Rutabaga, and deep fried I did mark it Jicama. So that, and then this is my supper tonight. So yeah, it's been a full weekend, and yeah, that's what we got. So all right, I'm done with everything. I don't know which video is gonna go with what, so bye.